Welcome back to the JCPod, partner with Stare Down Sports. Stare Down greatness. And I won't lie to you, most of my shirts, especially my Stare Down Sports shirts, they're at the other house. So this was the first one I was able to find that I'm like, you know what? We're going to wear it for the show today. Because for those of you who don't know, your boy is currently in the process of moving. Just bought a home, so it's going to be a bit erratic for the next basically like week and a half. We're almost done with the move-in process. Just got most of my stuff over there. Got a few last-minute things I need to do. Still got a few last-minute cleaning things we got to do over there. And then your boy will be officially set up over there. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about the NFL. While college football may be 39 days away until week 0, we are 51 days away officially from NFL week 1. And we still got 2 more divisions to talk about. The NFC East, or I guess we got 3 technically. I was going to say 1. Yeah, we got 3. Sorry, math is horrible. We got the NFC East, NFC West, AFC West. So today we're going to go over the NFC East. We're going to go over part 1, which will be the Cowboys and the Giants. Won't lie to you, the reason I chose the Cowboys and the Giants, don't have a lot to give out betting-wise. I just want to talk about some numbers. These are 2 teams that I really don't have too much interest in betting on future-wise this year. I'll bring up some numbers because there is some stuff I have taken. Like I have for sure taken the Giants one already. We gave it out, I think, about a month and a half ago at this point. But there's just, won't lie to you, these are 2 teams where I don't got a fully good read on, and they're 2 teams that I could go without putting some futures on. But like I said, I at least have some numbers I want to talk about because there's a chance to get brought back up here in the future. And yeah, there's a chance that I might end up taking more than them. We got like 2 or 3 I think I am for sure going to take, but maybe might end up with a little bit more. We'll have to see. So without any further ado, let's hop right in to the NFC East breakdown. I'll probably go over some NFL news probably Thursday because there's a better chance it'll be caught up to date and I won't be giving out news, 24 hours later where a lot could change. But yeah, let's talk about what we're going to start out with? Before we get to the New York Giants, we need to talk about what happened in 2024 for the NFC East. But like I said, we need to talk about what happened last season for these guys. And it was a rough season for one of these teams. Damn near even 2 of these teams. The Eagles finished the year 14-3. The Commanders finished 12-5 after an impressive start from Jaden Daniels. And then there was the Cowboys, 7-10. Not the best season for them. But then there was the New York Giants, 3-14. Absolutely horrendous season. I mean, just nothing went right for the New York Giants last season. It was just a bad year. I mean, hey, they beat the Colts to keep them out of the playoffs. So there was that going for them. But other than making me hate myself as a Colts fan, they didn't accomplish much other than getting, I don't even think they got the number 1 overall pick. Them beating the Colts in that week 16, 17 game, whichever one of those 2 weeks it was, pretty sure it was 17. Them beating the Colts that week is basically what took the Colts, what took the Giants from having any chance of the first overall pick and basically gave it to the Titans, which I'm sure the Giants would have really loved Cam Ward right now, just saying. But hey, they dropped 45 of them points on them Indianapolis Colts. But coaching change-wise, I mean, they made a few changes, but nothing crazy. Brian Daboll and Joe Shane? I don't know why I'm struggling so bad. They'll be returning for their 4th season. There's going to be changes at offensive and defensive coordinator. That's where it's looking like we have the changes. Yep. Offensively, Mike Kafka is the assistant head coach, offensive coordinator now, and then Sean Tierney. Oh, that's passing game, sorry. Defensively, Shane Bowen is the defensive coordinator now. So those are the big changes. Other than that, some small position changes here and there. But they have a new OC, new DC. But Brian Daboll's, I think, technically the OC. I don't know exactly who. I'll admit, I haven't heard the play calling duty, so I don't know what exactly is going to be happening over there play calling wise, but I'm assuming if he has had a say, he'll step back a bit, or if he hasn't had a say, he's going to step forward a little bit, because I don't know. It feels like his time might be being done in New York, but at the same time, they also seem to be giving him a little bit more trust because of the situations going on, but I don't know. That's one of those situations that's really hard to get a read on, because I was shocked I thought they might get rid of him this upcoming season. I thought they were going to get rid of him last year because of the bad record, but they're giving him the benefit of the doubt because of the horrible situation he inherited, it seems like. So yeah, that's just one of the things where you look at it, it's like, oh, so they are going to keep them. Okay. The Cowboys, I thought the Cowboys and Giants, even though one was 7-10, the other one's 3-14, eerily similar seasons where coaching-wise, where you're just like, man, is this what we really want to do? But yeah, even though one was like 7-10, the other one was like 3-14, it felt like situations where it's like, change has to be inevitable, and it feels like there just needs to be a change. But Giants decided, like, hey, we kind of think what we got overhead, so let's see if we can just change some pieces around. But yeah, like I said, there were some changes made. You got Russell Wilson as a starter, Jameis Winston as a backup, Jackson Dart as a third. For being honest, there's a good chance that Jackson Dart's going to be over Jameis. Wouldn't be shocked if they get rid of Jameis and trade him to another team at some point. And then there's a really good chance that if the season goes how I'm kind of projecting it will go, we'll probably see Jackson Dart at some point in the season. Running back wise, I got Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, Cam Scatabo, who I'm interested to see him at the third string. So it makes me wonder, like, is that just third string because he's a rookie, or is that third string because he still has some stuff to learn? We're still so early in the offseason, it might not matter too much. Wide receiver-wise, you got Malik Neighbors, Wando Robinson, Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Zach Pascal. Tight end-wise, you got Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger. And offensive line-wise, you got Illuminor, who I think was there last time, Van Roten, John Runyon, Andrew Thomas. I do this every episode. I can't fully remember their offensive line, but I at least remember 2 or 3 of those names, so I don't think there's too much change in the offensive line. Defensive line, Raheem Nunez, Roches, Dexter Lawrence II, Roy Robertson Harris, Brian Burns. I mean, this is a good... Their defensive lines could be really, really solid. Bobby Okereke, and then they got Micah McFadden, Abdul Carter, who they have as a... man, I guess, yeah, technically, like, man, they got some... Brian Burns on one side, Abdul Carter on the other, Kayvon Thibodeau to back him up. I mean, they got some pass rushers over there, man. Paulson Adebo, Tyler Newbin, Javon Holland, Devontae Banks, and Drew Phillips rounds out their defense. But yeah, now after going over the roster, let's go over their schedule, which I'm not going to lie to you. The win total number kind of shocks me based on just how truly hard the schedule is. Because I'll tell you more about the win total once we get done reading their schedule, but it was one of those things where it's like after one event happened in the offseason, it immediately spiked up like an extra 2 wins when it was kind of like, oh, that's what made it jump? But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go over their schedule first. Like I said, they start off the year, I mean, like I said, this is, I think, I can't remember exactly, but this is like a top 10 hardest schedule in the NFL. I think top 5. I mean, they have a gauntlet of a schedule, which I don't get how they got as a last place team. They got, this is their, let's just read the first 4 weeks real quick. At Washington, at Dallas, versus Kansas City, versus the Chargers. Good chance they're going 0-4 right there. At least like 1-3 in my opinion. Then you're away for the Saints, which is a little bit more doable. Then it's home versus the Eagles, away for Denver, away for Philadelphia, home versus 49ers, away for Chicago, home versus Green Bay, away for Detroit, away for New England. Week 14 bye is nice. Just sucks there's a good chance this team won't be in the playoffs. That Week 14 bye just sucks to have it late. Then you're home versus Washington, home versus Minnesota, away versus Las Vegas, home versus Dallas to end the season. So not only do they have to play the NFC East, that's their own division, they got the AFC West and the NFC North. I mean, talk about a loaded schedule. God damn. NFL did them no favors, like I said. So it's to the point, like I said, like I don't know if Brian Daboll's going to get fired because I don't know if it's like, how can you even blame him? I mean, they haven't had a full, like this is going to be his, like I said, it's year 4 for him, but this is probably going to be his first year where he's had a quarterback that he's wanted. Like he chose Jackson Dart, I believe. At least in the draft, that's the guy he liked the most that they got. And, yeah, now they have this gauntlet of a schedule where every other week is basically like a night. Every week is a hard team, and then occasionally you'll get like the Saints. That might be, you know, 1 game off, but maybe not for the Giants. Based on how, I think, I can't remember. I don't think their O-line's very decent. I forget which team it was. Denver's O-line's pretty decent. So, yeah, like, might not be bad. Like, oh, hey, maybe we finally won a game against the Saints. Then you go Philadelphia, Denver, Philadelphia, San Fran, Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, then New England. I mean, they're just like, every time you look at the schedule, it's just a run of like, so yeah, like the first 4 weeks are probably tough. You get a bye week with the Saints where it's like, hey, that's a game we potentially could win. Then it's Philadelphia, Denver, Philadelphia, San Fran, Chicago, Green Bay. 7 weeks of just torture with Detroit following that 7-week schedule. And then you get New England, which realistically, based on what a lot of people project, it's like, oh, that should be a doable game for them. I don't know about that. So that's 8, we'll say 7 tough games with New England being there, then a bye, and then it's Washington, Minnesota, Las Vegas. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. And then this is one of those things where the win total came out at 3.5. And then there was a video of Russell Wilson throwing a football at a game. I forget what it was, some basketball game where he threw a pass to somebody in the crowd, and then immediately after that, I don't know if it's just people betting on it, if the books moved it, but immediately moved to 5.5. And I got the 5.5 at a way worse number than it is now. I think it was at like 150. Maybe it wasn't even that bad. Maybe it's like 145, 150. But now it's down to minus 130 for the under 5.5. And that's an under that I've already bet this offseason. That's like one of my favorite bets I've already given out. And that's one of those things where, sorry, I'm trying to find the odds. Yeah, minus 130 for under 5.5. This is one I already taken. I actually have this. This is one of the very few futures I parlayed with the Saints under, because the Saints under at the time I took it, I got the Saints under before Derek Carr retired, so I got 6.5 at like minus 170 instead of the minus 5.5 at like 140 or whatever it is now. So I basically had to combine those two to get any good odds, but I got like plus 286. So I'm kind of happy with that, but I might honestly come back and take this Giants under solo just because now that's a little bit more in doable range. I mean, 5.5, I generally don't see how they win 5.5 games. Like, I just read their schedule off to you. I went through when I was going through every game, it's like, I don't know about that. I mean, I would say the Saints, maybe the Raiders, based on them being their first year trying to build some stuff as well. But you look at that schedule, I mean, they're not favored in 5 games. There's no way they're favored in 5 games. And, I mean, obviously, like, they could beat the Bears, maybe, yes. But I project the Bears to be a little bit better than the Giants. I project, like, most of those teams, the Saints, I could see being a little bit worse than the Giants. But, I mean, it's like, how much worse? I don't think it's too much of a difference. I mean, obviously, the Giants probably have a slightly better roster because I really like their defensive line. I like Malik Neighbors. I'm just not going to take anything of his because I don't know what their quarterback situation is going to be. I mean, Tyrone Tracy, I don't mind him. I think Cam Scatterboo is going to be decent, but it's like, man, that roster just has a lot of nastiness to it. A lot of nastiness to it. So looking at some of their stats for stuff, I mean, yeah, I generally don't think you're going to see me take a single Giant stat for any futures. I mean, I bet they're under, and that's probably going to be the only thing I take on because this is a team that I think this might be one of the worst teams in the NFL, and it's not. I don't think roster-wise, they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. But if you combine the roster with the schedule, with the expectations of them coming in, this might be not only do they have the worst situation, it seems like, schedule-wise. I mean, I just don't understand what they're going to do. Like, is Russell Wilson going to last all these games? I don't think so, personally. I wouldn't be shocked if Russell Wilson got benched halfway through the season. I mean, the books don't even have stuff up for Russell Wilson to bet on. So that just goes to show you, like, passing props over under, passing touchdowns over under, nothing's up for him. Rushing wise, I mean, they have nothing for. I was gonna look up Tyrone Tracy, but they don't have anything for him either. This is something what I usually do when I'm looking up futures for a team, and you can kind of tell how much the books are willing to give away. I kind of word that weird, but you can kind of tell if they're not willing to give something away, there's some serious doubt or concern to be there. Like, for example. They obviously have zero clue who's going to be starting quarterback for the Colts, so none of the Colts props are up. That goes to tell you, automatically, if you saw something, it's like I probably kind of lean unders because there's a good chance either one of those unders could hit because one guy might only start half the games. So when I'm not seeing any of Russell Wilson's numbers up, not seeing any of the running backs number up, I think Malik Neighbors' numbers are up, but the fact that I didn't see any quarterback, any running back, it's like I might as well not even look at Malik Neighbors. I mean, I'll talk about it on the show for show's sake, but yeah, I mean, it's that not seeing anything up kind of has me okay, that could be a real issue. And then Malik Neighbors, they don't even have his stuff up because he's dealing with a foot injury, I guess. And this could be just I'm not gonna lie to you, DraftKings, the way they have some of their futures set up, it's a little clunky, and it's harder to scroll through. So I'm just using FanDuel for a lot of the stuff I've been looking at lately. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm looking at all these books for the best odds and stuff, but for the main base bets where it's over under win totals, over under this, over under that, I look at FanDuel first, and then I base all right, I like that. Let me look at other books, see what that number is. The fact they don't have any of this up that has me going okay, so the books at least kind of see it very similar to me that they have no idea what to expect from this quarterback room, except for there's a good chance that there might be change into it, which, like I said, wouldn't be shocked if we'll probably see Jackson Dart towards the end of the season. Wouldn't be shocked if he has to come in halfway through if it's just the point where it's so far off the rails that, I mean, Daboll has no choice. He's all right, we got to get Russell Wilson out of there. I wouldn't be shocked if that's the scenario they go with, but I think they're going to try to sit Jackson Dart for as long as they can just to give him. I think it might be very similar to Bo Nix, where it's hey, we want to give Bo Nix the reps, we want to be able to do that, but then it just gets to a point where it's man, we got to put him in. We just have, and I could be wrong. Who was there was somebody else that happened to last year too. It felt like Drake May. That's what I was thinking. Prime example of that, where it's just Jacoby Brissett is so bad and so unplayable. It's just we might as well just put Drake May in. It might stun him a bit, but it's better just to get him out here and at least be competitive in some of these games instead of putting out there what we're putting out there. And Drake May didn't do too horrible. Now it looks promising coming to year 2. Are we going to see that from Jackson Dart? There's truly a chance, honestly. There's a real chance there. But like I said, I'm on the Giants under 5.5 at -130. That's probably going to be the only future I take on this team because, like I said, quarterback-wise, I see Jackson Dart starting at some point this season. I just have a big question for this team. Are they going to be the last place team in the NFL? As of right now, based on my over-unders, strictly because of that schedule, I think there's a really good chance that this team only wins 3 or 4 games again. Like last year, I think it was just they only won 3 or 4 games because I don't want to blame solely quarterback play, but I think the lack of quarterback play and just the lack of, like, it took forever to get their weapons and other stuff going. I think that was a mixed part of it. I don't know if I can for sure blame coaching at this point. I don't think Brian Daboll is a horrible coach by any means at all. I just think that it's almost to the point where it's like the Giants just seems like, I don't want to say an unwinnable job, but they just seem so behind the 8 ball right now that it's like, how do we get... I mean, because they have the pass rush. It's just, they have the pass rush. They had Saquon. They had some wide receivers, and now it's like Saquon's gone. They have Malik Neighbors, but they really don't have a running back. Could that be Scatterbo? Maybe. Could that be Tyrone Chasey? Maybe. I don't know. And then you look at the wide receivers. We read them off. I mean, that wide receiver room, like, if you're looking for guys to help out Jackson Dart, I mean, you got Malik Neighbors. I don't think any of those other guys are bad at all. Like, this isn't me, like, distant. They're an NFL wide receiver. They're obviously pretty good, but you compare it to some of these other wide receiver rooms, you look at the Giants wide receiver room, it's like, it's Malik Neighbors and a bunch of guys. I mean, I would say Malik Neighbors, Wando Robinson, and then a bunch of guys where you're just like, yeah, they're okay, but, like, they aren't anything super special or amazing. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't know what they think of Brian Daboll. I wouldn't be shocked if he got fired this season, but I don't know fully how the Giants operate when it comes to firing people mid-season, like if that's just something they're okay with doing all the time or not, but I don't know. It just feels like they've been stuck in the mud now for years and years, and they really need a quarterback. So if you're a Giants fan, I'm assuming you really hope that Jackson Dart's a guy, because if he's not a guy, I mean, they've been trying to find a quarterback since Eli. And, I mean, it's been what now? Close to... I don't know when he retired. I'm just trying to think of Eli's good years. So it's probably been around like 2014, 2015, so close to 10 years since they've gotten good to great quarterback play. I mean, Daniel Jones had some moments, but I wouldn't say he was the best quarterback for them. But I don't know. It's one of those situations like that. I just think it is circumstance-wise, like, I almost feel bad for them. Like, I don't think this is a horrible team by any means. I don't think it's a great team. But I don't think it's a horrible team. I just think they got one of the worst schedules you can get. I mean, the fact that they have to play the AFC West and the NFC North this year, after the NFC North has only gotten better, and the AFC West has only gotten better. I mean, like, those bottom tier teams of, like, the NFC North, like Bears, because it was Lions, Vikings, Packers. I mean, I wouldn't consider the Packers bottom, but those teams improved a little bit. AFC East, you could say that, maybe Chargers, I guess. Chargers, improve. Broncos, improve. Raiders, improving. Like, Chiefs are the Chiefs. So it just goes, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I genuinely kind of feel bad for the Giants because it just seems like they were set up for failure this year with a horrendous schedule that just is not going to do them any favors. The Week 14 bye is huge because they can find a way, don't think this will happen, but they can find a way to string together wins. I mean, the Week 14 bye would be good for the playoffs, but like I said, this is a team that I do not see making the playoffs. So my only bet for the Giants is they're under 5.5 at -130. Genuinely have zero interest in taking anything else other than just like kind of watching from afar and just seeing like, all right, what is this team? Because like I said, I like Malik Neighbors. I don't know what to trust in his quarterback situation, so I'm just going to stay away. He's dealing with the foot injury as well. That's been nagging him since LSU. I don't think that'll be a problem, but I just don't like hearing those things, especially when it comes to putting money on it. And your boy just bought a house, so now it's like, all right, I'm even more locked in. I'm not taking any Giant stuff. So that moves us on to the Dallas Cowboys, who, like I said, they finished 7-10 last year. Coaching change-wise, Mike McCarthy's contract expired, so they got rid of him. Brian Schottenheimer is a current first-time head coach, and this will be his first chance to see what he does. So, as of right now, I think there's still technically a vacancy in offensive coordinator. I think Brian Schottenheimer is going to call play calls, but I don't know if it's going to be like if they're going to hire somebody from above to like get that role as well to basically get a pay raise, or if they're going to hire somebody else there. So Matt Eberflus is the defensive coordinator. Nick Sorensen is the special teams coordinator. I actually have not seen who their offensive coordinator is. Brian Schottenheimer. Oh, that's the head coach. Yeah, actually, this one I wasn't for sure of. I guess I probably should look it up. Clayton Adams. He was in 2025 season is not expected. Yeah, he's not expected to be the play caller. So it's one of the things where he's just going to work with. He's just going to work with Brian Schottenheimer, which is not too shocking at all. I just wanted to make sure of it's one of the situations where it's going to be interesting though. Is Brian Schottenheimer going to keep calling plays, or is he eventually going to give that up? Because I won't lie to you, I'm one of those people I think where I'm kind of into the. I mean, it sucks for your team because your coordinator could get hired away, but it's really hard to be a head coach and a good play caller as well. I mean, obviously there's exceptions to the rule because we got. I was like Kyle McMahon. I don't know why that came to my head. I don't even know what the hell that is. Kevin O'Connell. I mean, you got him, Sean McVay. You got some of these guys who can do it, but it's going to be interesting. It's Brian Schottenheimer, one of those guys who can do it. This is our chance to see. And he has a roster that seems like they're going to be decent offensively, defensively. Oh, boy. Offensively, you got Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott, Joe Milton, Will Greer as the quarterbacks. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue, Deuce Vaughn. I'm not going to say hate, but I really dislike the running back room. They basically traded running backs with the Panthers and signed a Javonte. I think Jaden Blue might be decent for them, but it's just, they could do so. They're the Dallas Cowboys. They need to have way better running back room than this. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin, Jonathan Mingo, Kevontae Turpin, I believe, is in some legal trouble, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on. He was arrested on 2 charges a week ago. I don't know if anything else has come out since then, so I don't want to talk on it too much. But, yeah, there's that. Tight end wise, they got Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker. Hunter Lipke is their fullback. Offensive line-wise, I mean, I think these are a lot of the guys from last year. I believe, Terrence Steele, Tyler Booker, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton. A lot of They got 3 Tylers and a Terrence on their team. I feel bad for Cooper, man. Only guy without a T in his name, but all I know is they definitely aren't saying Tyler in the offensive line room. Those guys are Guyton, Smith, and Booker. I think Tyler Booker's actually a rookie too, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. I just feel like Booker sounds familiar from a rookie name. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but that's hilarious. They have 3 Tylers. Defensively, Dante Fowler Jr., Mozzie Smith, Osa Odigizua, which I thought was a great signing. They brought him back. Micah Parsons, Kenneth Murray Jr., Jack Sanborn, DeMarvion Overshaw, Deron Bland, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, Trevion Diggs, and Israel Mukamu? That's tough, man. I really apologize for butchering that name. Israel Mukamu sounds a lot better than Mukamu or whatever the fuck I just said. So I apologize for butchering that completely. But, yeah, this is a team where, like I said, defensively, little dusty. Let's just say that. I don't think their defense is horrible, but this is definitely, I think, one of the lower. If you have to go on, tier lists, they're definitely a lower tier than some of the other defenses in the league. Schedule-wise, we'll just read through that real quick. Remember, they're playing the AFC West, NFC North, so that's going to be tough for them. Philadelphia, away for Philadelphia, first game of the season on Thursday, September 4th. So this is the game that kicks off the season for us. Cowboys at Eagles. And then they're home for the Giants, away for Chicago, home versus the Packers, away for the Jets, away for Carolina, home versus Washington, away for Denver, home versus Arizona, bye week on week 10, about middle of the season. Vegas is your week 11 game. Week 12 is the Eagles at home. Week 13 is home for the Chiefs. Week 14 at Detroit. Week 15, Minnesota. Week 16, Chargers at Washington and at Giants in the year. I mean, golly. So week 12 through 17 is just a gauntlet for them. So basically, you're hoping, if you're betting this over-under win total, which is at 7.5, you're hoping they have 6 wins by week 9 because, I mean, probably a minimum of 5 because, yeah. You're talking after Vegas, if you have the bye week Vegas, you're talking Philadelphia at home at least. Chiefs at home, but Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Minnesota, Chargers, Washington. That is a gauntlet of a schedule, man. Yeah, like I said, their over-under win total is about 7.5. By the time they reach that, after that bye week, after Monday Night Football against Arizona, that back end of the schedule is going to be tough. That's going to be tough, dude. If I had to lean, I'm probably leaning towards the under just because I I think this is going to be a rough first year for Brian Schottenheimer, not only because he's a first-time head coach. I just don't think defensively they're the same team they have been. I think their defense has been regressing. I don't think it'd be crazy, and I don't think I'm the only one that thinks this, but their defense has been regressing the last couple of years. Not totally by, like, maybe play on the field, maybe slightly play on the field, but even name value. I mean, they're just getting rid of, like, they got these guys to make plays for them and just let them go, don't do anything with it. I don't want to say they're similar to the Bengals because that feels like a bit of a diss, but yeah, it just seems like whatever they're doing defensively is just not working out for them. I'm not betting this by any means, by the way. They're under. If I have to pick, I'm giving it out. These are just two bets I really want to talk about. Dak Prescott, comeback player of the year, plus 300. Coming back from injury, I think that is definitely a possibility because I feel like their offense is going to have to throw for a lot. I mean, they're not even throw for a lot, but they're going to have to score a lot. I think this is going to be an offense that wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I don't think they're as bad as the Bengals per se, but there's a chance that this defense is going to have, or this offense is going to have to get a little bit of that score happy going because they got Micah Parsons, they got Osa Odighizuwa, they got some of these other guys, Ron Brand, they got Trayvon Diggs, but there's a lot of positions that I'm just not sure of. I mean, this could be a sneaky good defense. I'd be a little shocked, but I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not the craziest thing to think in the world. It's just, based on this Dallas Cowboys team compared to some other teams in year past, you just look at it and be like, this is probably not the best of teams to have. I think I said it last year where, I've been saying it for like almost 3 years now, where I think Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy will be gone. Said it last year that I don't know anymore, but I'm pretty sure one or two of them might be gone. Now officially one of them are gone. Now it's just, I think, a matter of like, all right, I don't want to say when is Dak Prescott leaving, but I don't think this is going to be year the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. So it just makes you wonder, like, all right, do they want to stay in the Dak Prescott business, or are they looking to potentially move on, draft a young guy, all that jazz? Because, I mean, it's Jerry Jones. He has to be thinking about winning a Super Bowl, and is Dak Prescott the guy who's going to do it for him? Like I said, though, he's plus 300 when comeback player of the year. Don't mind it. Don't think I'm personally going to take it. Just want to bring it up. Micah Parsons plus 600, leading the clubhouse in defensive player of the year. Yeah, again, another one where I don't think I'm going to take it. I just want to bring it up because those are the two guys leading in pole position right now for those odds. Two other things I want to bring up before I get in some over-unders I might actually take. CeeDee Lamb, most receiving yards in 2025. He was plus 1,300. That's now moved to plus 1,200. I wonder what's made those odds move. I'm going to take a quick peek. Because the reason I'm considering that, I think it might be in Jamar Chase again with Joe Burrow, just because that's another team. Like, they're the definition of we got to score like 40 points a game. So it makes me wonder a little bit about them, but there's a chance, truly, that the Cowboys could be right behind them when it comes to that stuff. I think the Bengals' defense is by far more, worse than the Cowboys, but yeah, I don't think it's like too far off. A little bit. I mean, there's a little bit of a gap separating them, but not crazy, basically. But yeah, most receiving yards. Where's this at? What changed? It's either Puka Nacua went up to 1,100 or CeeDee Lamb passed Brian Thomas, who went down to 1,400. Because basically right before I started the show, he's at plus 1,300, a little bit farther down the list. But like I said, that's just something I wanted to at least throw out there. Like, hey, wouldn't be shocked that happens. That's something I'm taking. And then Dak Prescott's 11-1 for the most most passing yards in the NFL, which basically diddles onto what I was just saying earlier, where they're going to have to pass a lot, might have to score a lot. Running back's not the best when it comes to their team, so they might have to lean on the throw a little bit more, but let's see. Before we get into some more, I guess we should probably stick with Dak. Dak Prescott is over-under passing and passing touchdowns. Let's talk about that real quick. He also came out 6 days ago, said, I'm as healthy as could be, which I guess you can, excuse me for the yawn, but you could read that as a good thing, like, hey, he's healthy, he's ready to go, or as healthy as can be. What do you mean by that, buddy? But for his career, last 2 seasons, he had 2,800, only played 12 games in 2022. 2023, played all 17, had 4,500. It's 2025 games, 21, 16 games, 22, 12 games, 23, 17 games, 24, 8 games. So this, based on that little flip-flop, if you want to just be basic, he should play 17 games, but as of late, he's just been dealing with a little bit of ailments and stuff like that. So I think, personally, for me, I'm going to stay away from his passing yards. Passing touchdown-wise, I mean, you have seasons 37, 23, 36. He had 11 and 8 last year. I mean, he's shown he can do it, and I think they're going to have to pass a lot more. But I think personally for me, I'm just going to lay off the Dak Prescott stuff. If anything, maybe take him comeback play of the year if those odds drop a little bit. And then he starts to play well again. But it's just, like I said, I told you at the beginning of the show, I'm not trying to invest too much in these teams because in the Giants' case, I genuinely don't know what they're going to do against a great schedule. I think there's going to be a lot of change at quarterback. I think that there's going to be a lot of change at running back. Head coach could get fired. Not 100% sure on that one. GM could get fired. Wouldn't be shocked. Cowboys, I mean, the head coach seems like he's going to be put in place. He was just hired. Same goes for a lot of those guys. They just traded for George Pickens. They have CeeDee Lamb. Like, there's not too much as uncertainty when it comes to other stuff. The more the uncertainty comes with what version of Dak Prescott are we getting back. So that makes me scared to take a lot of their stuff. And like I said, his over-under is 3,800 passing yards, so I'm just not interested in that. Over-under passing touchdowns, 26.5, minus 102. So it's just like, I mean, it's definitely doable, but I'm just good. We already get to have more futures placed anyway on other teams, so no reason to push that at all. But yeah, kind of lost my train of thought for a minute, but yeah, I won't lie to you. Yesterday I just lost my train of thought. I had to answer a text about something we're dealing with, but I think we basically were just finishing off my thoughts on Dak Prescott and how I just don't know what to project from his season. I can see it being good. I can see it being bad. We know he's capable of the good. It's just a matter of what's he going to come back looking like from this injury, and I just don't think I just don't think I'm going to place money on that per se myself. CeeDee Lamb, he is over 7.5 touchdowns, over 1,100 yards. That's something more of where I lean towards a little bit. We'll talk about George Pickens here after we talk about CeeDee Lamb, because his number moved from 4.5 to 5.5 on his receiving touchdowns, and that's making me second guess a little bit. Last season, CeeDee played in 15 games, had 1,100 yards. Season before that, played in 17, had 1,700 yards. 12 touchdowns the year before, had 6 touchdowns last year. So that's basically where I'm stuck at right now, where I'm going to be for sure be taking one of these. I just can't get myself to decide. I think I want to go with the yards, and I might hedge, not really a hedge, but take George Pickens' touchdowns and do it that way. But I think I am going to be taking these 1,175 receiving yards. I do think getting George Pickens there will be a helpful addition to helping CD just get open, because I don't think George will take too many targets away from him. I think it's just another weapon to worry about. I think all the focus will still be on CeeDee Lamb, which would make sense, but I do think there's a chance that George Pickens can at least come in there and help out, take away some, not only I guess take away some targets, yeah, but also can help like balance out like the defense. Like some defense will like, hey, we got to worry about George Pickens. We can't just worry about CD, which I think will be a massive, massive help. Like I said, the over under 7.5 touchdowns, I don't know. It's minus 106, so the books are obviously saying like they lean towards the under just very, very slightly, or at least a lot of the people betting are. I just can't get myself to do it, man. I liked it when I first saw it, and then the more I thought about it, it's like, man, that should be doable, but I just don't know, man. The more I look at it, I'm just like, I like it, but I don't love it. So I think that's one where I'm just gonna stay away from it and just be like, maybe we'll just like I said. The only thing that does make me wonder is because, like I said, the touchdown wise, I might take George Pickens touchdowns, but I think CeeDee Lamb's just gonna have a great season regardless. I just don't think that, I think 7.5 touchdowns is just a tad too much for me to take money on. I think it could be hit, but just a little too much for me. So I think I'm going to stick with that 1,175 receiving yards. Then, like I said, George Pickens, that's one where it gets interesting. I don't think I'm going to take his receiving yards. His receiving yards is only an over-under of 900. I do think that is for sure doable. He had 900 last season, 1,100 the year before. I do think this Cowboys offense is going to need to throw a lot more. I won't lie to you. I'd be lying to you if I told you I knew exactly what Brian Schottenheimer's scheme was. I think there's a chance that he might be main pass. Like, I don't know why I said main pass. Like, I'm more of a West Coast, maybe, something like that. Like, I don't know his offensive scheme, so I don't know if he's, like, more of a run first, like I said, pass first. That's something I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on, which I apologize for not doing that beforehand, but yeah, George Pickens' touchdowns moved from 3.5 to 5.5, or sorry, 4.5 to 5.5. 4.5 is like minus 132. 5.5 now is plus 102. Won't lie to you, I am tempted to take the touchdowns because, like I said, I do think that I just think that the Cowboys are going to need to score a decent amount of touchdowns, and I think they can do it. So instead of taking 7.5 with CeeDee Lamb, why don't I take 5.5 with George Pickens? But that's just another one of those ones where I look at it's like, do I really need to take that? We have so many futures for other teams. Where, I mean, this one is at least plus 102, but we have so many futures for other teams. It's like, maybe I just hold off. We'll take CeeDee Lamb's receiving yards and leave it at that. But I am leaning towards George Pickens over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. That might be one that ends up on the list that I give out. I mean, shit, that's going to be about 2.5, 3 weeks from now. I'll go over some final futures that I decided that will make my cutting list. And honestly, I'll probably just do a whole, I'll make a whole show out of that. We'll have to see. But yeah, the main reason I don't want to take the Steelers, I just don't know what to fully project from this Cowboys offense. I mean, they had some moments where they looked pretty decent last year. They also looked really bad at other points. This offense is for sure going to be the best part of the team, I feel like. And then it's just a matter of, like, what is Schottenheimer? Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, I don't know what just happened. I just had a stroke trying to combine his name. But I'm not fully sure what to think of Brian Schottenheimer, what his offense might become. But we'll just have to keep an eye out on it. I do like some of these numbers. It's just I can't fully get myself to take them because I don't know exactly what to expect from the Cowboys. I expect them to win 6-7 games. That second half of the season was really scares me when it's like Chiefs, Chargers, Eagles. You just look at that, it's like, and those are some good defenses too. So that's the part of the schedule where I get a little bit worried for the Cowboys. Like I said, I expect I guess I'll just give out all my bets and my final thoughts. So official plays we're gonna just do this weird because I basically don't have. Usually I break it up into individual teams, and I only have like 2 for this episode. We'll just do them all together. Official futures for the NFC East Part 1. We got the Giants under 5.5 minus 130 win. That's the win total, which we already gave out, so some of you might already have that. We'll take CeeDee Lamb over 1,175.5 receiving yards. And those are my 2 official ones. I'm going to think about taking over 5.5 receiving touchdowns for George Pickens, but the only ones I'm for sure taking are the Giants under and then CeeDee Lamb's receiving over. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for support. Really do appreciate it. There's a small chance the next episode comes out Friday. The plan is to have it come out Thursday, but if it takes me a little bit longer to hook back up my PC and then hook up everything else at the new house, good chance we have to delay that another day. I do have, like I said, internet getting hooked up tomorrow in the new house, so I'm hoping that if the internet's hooked up tomorrow, my uncle will be able to come over, and he said he's going to help me with the router. We'll set the router up, get all that set up, and then hopefully by Thursday, I will have my PC set up and we'll be working from there. If not, I'll be in the process of setting my PC up, and good chance that I might have to record on Friday. But for sure, another episode this week. We need to talk about the Eagles. We need to talk about the Commanders. Because, yeah, we got to finish the NFC East, people, so we can get to the last 2 divisions, which are the West, both AFC and NFC, which we'll do next week and the following week. And then by the end of the July, so basically by the first week of August, I should have all the futures done. We'll talk a little bit of college football futures, and then, hey, people, we're right around the corner for NFL season. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for support. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, I will see everyone in this feed maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. But you'll see me again.